Alright, today we're going to start getting into some of the decks from Magic Worlds, which is going on this weekend. As of the date of recording this might come out a few days later. Not all the deck lists are out yet, but some people have posted their deck lists. So this is, I believe it's pronounced Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, French player competing in Worlds, playing a card that just got banned in Best One, which is Leyline of Resonance. So I'll go over the deck list. Obviously, I didn't build it, so I'll just give some of my thoughts. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's a lot of the things you'd expect and some things that I sort of like that have been changed in the deck list. For starters, there's no Swift Spear, so I'm a pretty big fan of limiting yourself to 16 creatures. This deck cheats by using Questing Druid, which I assume that this is kind of a spell first, so you can make sure that you're finding more things for your leyline. But it's also a threat, so it sort of follows my rule of 16 creatures, but cheats by getting more out of Questing Druid. This card is just incredibly powerful, so I can understand why you play it. And then obviously, Might is just a draw 2, plays really well with Leyline, Monstrous Rage, turn Inside Out to give you turn 2 kills, Snakeskin Veil to protect creatures, and then one of the interesting cards, I don't think I've ever seen anyone cast this, is Overprotect, which is a 2 mana, target creature you control gets +3/+3, trample, hexproof, and indestructible. So this is sort of like a Snakeskin Veil, except for it actually kills people, right? Because if you have the Leyline, it's dealing +6/+6, and with things like Heartfire Hero and Scamp, you can finish people off. Another thing I like is there's one Sell-Sword. I think the initial versions of this deck, everyone took the carryover of just like playing 4 of these, but it's actually not that good with Leyline. And it doesn't really enable powerful things. This does let you kill people more quickly, but drawing multiple of these in games where your opponent answers a lot of your threats can be super problematic, so I like to see one of those. And then just regular, probably the best 2/1 drops for leyline decks, and then just 2 incredibly powerful 2 drops in Challenger and Slickshot Show-Off. Mana base, 20 lands. I think I was playing 18, but also I wasn't playing nearly as many 2 mana cards. So I'm totally fine with 20. I think you need to play at least 20 if you want to play Questing Druid. I wouldn't even be surprised to see like 21 in this list, but you do need to draw your pump spells if you're going to put this card in your deck. So yeah, looks solid. I'm sure it's well built. This is a World's competitor after all. And then side deck, we have Torch the Tower for things like the Mirror. Just good interaction, good card. Scorching Shot answers large creatures like Shieldred. Pawpatch Formation is pretty interesting. It can answer the Demon Enchantment. It can answer the big flying demons. Solid all-around card. Answers temporary lockdown. There's actually 4 in the side deck. I think this is one of the most played cards in Worlds. Just a solid sort of charm effect. And then Manifold Mouse, which makes sense depending on the matchup. It can be appealing if you're gold fishing as well as just as a grindy card, because if you do get to 4 lands off your Questing Druid, you can play it and get 2 bodies. And then Obliterating Bolt, I assume that this is just caring about exile. I'm not exactly sure for what it's for yet. Maybe just more like Heartfire Heroes. I guess it's probably for Slasher, right? That's probably the main reason this is here, to answer people that are putting Slasher into play, because it's relatively good at blocking your creatures. And then Urabrask Forge for people with a lot of interaction. So that is the list. Not too much to say. Not something I built myself. But I'm sure people want to see stuff like this in action. So I will see you guys in the games. If you just came here for the deck list and you want to see more of the World's decks, I'll probably cover a bunch of them. So, feel free to hit the buttons, like and subscribe if you want to see those. And I will see you in the games. Peace. Alright, I would like to play first. No Leyline, but this hand seems good enough to keep. We've got some creatures. We've got card advantage if they answer all of our threats. And some pump spells. Love to be on the play with a deck like this. If you're not going to have a Leyline, at least win your die rolls. Alright, don't Melanoculus, please. Top, sure. This deck doesn't have that much good removal, so I think I just get to work on the board. Shard, of course. Okay, I think I want to maximize damage here. Like, I could just Might the hero. Could even, I guess I could do both. Sell-Sword. Okay. I think I will. I'm just going to try to kill them as quickly as possible. My hand's awkward. I drew the 2 worst cards possible. But hopefully with some help, can maybe cross the finish line. Okay, Jin, sure. So now I get to interact with my stuff. Just casting a blocker, sure. Okay. Well, this feels bad to do. I still think it's worth doing. I have to just hope to spike a 1-drop. I guess I could have. I should have not played the land. I made a mistake. That's my bad. Because now I could be able to cast these, but probably chumping, going to 6. Going to 3 is relatively scary. Now we just sort of have to pray. We do have another Questing Druid. I could have played this game a little better. So I would have a 4th land, which gives me prowess here at least, but also getting this into play later isn't completely relevant, so that's my mistake. Sure. Yep. Might be too late. Effectively just like Bolt to 5. It's part of why you see people not put this card in their deck. But, you know, it's not that likely for this to happen. I'm sure on average you're probably going to do like one of these. Okay, so they tapped out. They actually died, right? Yeah, because they have to block this, and then they die. So, easy. Alright, lucky. A few bricks, and then we got a good top deck. Okay, so I think this matchup's going to get a lot worse post-board. So I don't know exactly what I want to do. I'm sort of banking on them having temporary lockdown, but I don't know if I want Urabrask Forge because they can, like, they have creatures to block, and they can kill me quickly, so this card kind of seems like a blank. Scorching Shot is probably good enough. Obliterating Bolt might be good enough, but it doesn't kill the Oculus. It exiles, which is nice, but I guess I probably don't want it. Alright, so this is something that I've talked about that, like, knowing this would be so helpful, which is, how do I board, how do I change my deck as a late-line deck? I think that's one of the most complicated things about these decks, because in Best of 1, it's very straightforward. You're playing one game. I think in Best of 3, it becomes kind of complicated. And it's like, okay, if I'm on the draw, if I think my opponent is doing these things, should I even have Leyline in my deck post-board? And I don't know the answer. I wouldn't be surprised if some people were taking out Leylines in certain matchups. In this one, they have a bunch of unsummons, and they're going to have interaction. I guess I'll just leave them in and hope that it's not too bad. Okay, so you know what? Let me think. So if I do take these out, then I'm sort of assuming, not exactly a control role, but I can interact with what they do. I have 5 removal spells. The question is what... It probably has to be a creature if I want to take something out. I could maybe take out Overprotect. Do I think Questing Druid is important? And do I think Challenger is better or Slickshot Show-Off is better? I'm going to try this. I would bet my life that this is not how a Worlds player is sideboarding in this matchup, but we're doing our best. Let's try this. I could see, if someone told me, like, you should be boarding out the ley lines. Someone good at Magic told me that, then I would say, yeah, I get it. If someone good at Magic also told me you should never board out Leyline, it's the point of the deck, I also get that. It is incredibly powerful. That being said, we do not have it. I think I'm going to keep anyway. Scamp is much worse without the Leyline. But I think this hand's solid. And I don't really have a card outside of Leyline that I really want to be a part of my opening hand. It's a good draw. Maybe not a good draw, but it's a fine draw. I would rather have it than this one drop, but having extra 1-drops isn't that appealing, though. Tap land, tap land. Okay. So. I could... Nah, we're just going to jam. If they have lockdown, we get some damage, and then we can try to rebuild. Hand is actually pretty good against lockdown. That is one of the benefits of having extra creatures. So that's something worth considering as well. Is like, okay, if I think my opponent is going to have more removal and sweepers post board, then I want more creatures in my deck. So Questing Druid does sort of comply with that logic. Uh-oh, okay. So now I have to beat this Oculus. Do they have a land? Okay. This is bad. I'm not going to say that it's over, but it is not good for me. Don't have a removal spell. Okay. So I think we're playing around nothing. And hoping that we draw a bunch of pump spells and finish them with a scamp. This is currently 4 damage, which is not close to enough. I guess it's 5 damage here. I think that this game is over. I could probably concede. If this card comes into play early, you're going to have a rough time. Opponent's hand was good. If they didn't mill an Oculus, they just die, right? Like, Haughty Djinn doesn't do it. I think this is the only thing that actually saves them, so... A bit of variance involved, but, like, I'm not going to say my opponent got, like, exceptionally lucky or anything. It's very reasonable. Okay, they gave me maps. Well, maybe we could find an answer to this. We got 5 of them. Okay. Well, I think that's the type of thing I want. Even if it's not the most exciting. What's the block here? It's double block. I wonder if this 5/5 is... I guess it probably should attack. Okay. I'll just save this map. I think I want to use it on the Challenger again. This card is very good. To no one's surprise, the 2-mana 2/2 Haste Prowess that for some reason has a line of text. How many 2/2 Haste Prowesses exist? This is the only one ever, right? And then it also just draws cards? I think that's the case. Alright, so... Alright, so I think I need help from this Challenger, but Get Lost is such a bad card that maybe if we get lucky here, we can kill him. Don't think that was it. Can't draw that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not gonna die. If I go this here, it'll be... This is 3, 7, 8. So 6 to 8. And then they're just gonna take 3 max. So yeah, this has to trade, and we just have to try to grind it out. Still not that bad of a spot somehow. Here 10. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Shit. Alright, well, I get a proliferate. Whoops. It's not that bad. If this doesn't get answered, it gets trample anyway. But I think I would rather have this game. You know what? Maybe this is actually correct. Oh, okay, that's bad. Yeah, needed to fade interaction, I think. So we're dead next turn. In theory, we could kill them. I think. Maybe not. So I can draw Pump Spell and then reveal Pump Spell, maybe. Damn. So this is not a... Oh, I don't know, man, anyway. Would this have been enough? So it's 8, 9, no. Right? It's 2, 6, 4. Yeah, no, okay. It would have been lethal if I had a land. So that Questing Druid was a land. I could have killed them. Alright. Do I want to change anything? Not really. I have a bunch of answers for the Oculus. That's probably the only way they're ever beating me. I don't think Haughtygen actually is particularly problematic. I think I'm going to lose to like 100 removal spells or a bunch of temporary lockdowns or Oculus early in the game. Okay, we'll mulligan. I'm not 100% sure that that hand is never a keep, but this hand is much better. Maybe if I was on 6, I would keep a hand that didn't have a creature and did have a Leyline, but... Don't hit the thing. To answer this, it's pretty problematic. I think I jammed, though. This deck's also actually really bad at answering this, right? Like, it's... There's the +3/+3 and... whatever else. Is this a kill? So 6 and a prowess, so 7, 9, and then a prowess, so 7, 16. Go 2. I think putting them to 2 is probably good enough. Double pump spell owns me, I guess, but it's kind of interesting. Or double removal spell? No, it doesn't matter. So Monstrous Rage will save my thing. It's less damage though, and then I don't have the trample later, so I think this doesn't save it. So I guess I could go Overprotect and then Monstrous Rage if they have a second smite. Not sure. It's kind of strange, but I think in an ideal world they do just smite 2 times. Okay, this is correct because they could have the bounce spell. Yeah, they do. Okay. Alright, opponent's at 3. And I think we're safe against most things. Alright, GG. So we did the Leyline thing in one of the games and got our free win. Beat 2 one-man interaction spells. Maybe wouldn't have got it done on the draw, but we got it on the play. Alright. Cool. GG. Leyline. Banned in best of 1, but you can still play it in best of 3. Alright, here for another match. I would like to go first, please. No Leyline, 2 lands, 1 creature. We'll try it. I mean, this is a really fast kill, right? If this lives, we could, what's it called? Plot it. Is this a kill? So this is probably turn 3. Do I even need a land for it to be a turn 3 kill? Yeah, I mean, I have to, right? So it's only going to be... Yeah, I need a land. I do have Overprotect, though. Which is kind of nice. Opponent's probably thinking if they want to tap out. They did. Okay, so we found a land. Is this a kill? Should probably play my cards regardless. So this is going to be 5, 6, 8, and 10, 18. Is there a best way to do this? Suppose I should always play the card draw first. What else could I do? So next turn, this will be, if they tap out, this is going to be 8. So I could Might the Meek, put them to 10. I think I just put them to 2. Trying to think of how they're gaining life. I get a 2/2 as well, so that obviously has value. I think this has to be the right play. Okay, does this give it indestructible? It does. So we're gonna have 5. So I use the Overprotect, and then they lose their board. Could just block with Glissa, and they die. Okay. This is not doing anything, right? Alright, well, plus 1 point for Overprotect. Pretty good there. Then we'll play this. And we'll pass. Nice. That was a fast game. Okay, green, black. Alright, so. Glissa, Mosswood, Dread Knight. Do I want the Torch the Towers? I don't think so. I think this is a Bolt matchup. It may be a Manifold Mouse matchup. I don't. What cards do I want to take out? How do I think they're boarding? Do I want Pawpatch? Not unless they show me demon cards. All I saw was Glissa and Mosswood, which doesn't mean that much to me. And then I could put in. I guess I'd probably put in Scorching Shot. Questing Druid, I think, is 4 matchups like this. Now I need to figure out what cards I want to take out. Is this a take out a Leyline matchup? Is any matchup a take out a Leyline matchup? I think I'm just going to try to grind through their stuff and not board too much. I'm just going to have in some answers. Alright, so let me think about this. So, this lets me attack into Glissa, which is obviously appealing. Gives me 2 bodies versus spot removal, which is nice. How much protection spells do I want? So what's the card I'm taking out if I'm taking out the mouse? I could take out like Scamps. I could do this, and then like on the draw, just kind of assume that it's going to be harder for me to get a fast kill. So just have a few more grindy tools. And what other card would I want to take out? Could take out a land, probably not right. I'll take out a Show-Off. It can be slow. I know it's a weird thing to say. And it's not slow in the sense of like, if your opponent does nothing, it's slow. It's very fast at killing people if your opponent does nothing. But the way that you need to play a lot of these spots is like, you can't just let your Slickshot Show-Off get cut down. You also can't just like play your Slickshot and play a pump spell, because it'll get cut down. So you don't end up getting to play the way that you want in a bunch of spots. And that's what I mean by it can be slow. Okay, kept a loose hand. May get punished for it. That's a good draw. Let's play it. I don't really want this to just die for free anyway. And we can get to work with this. I do have a protection spell. If they go after it, we can turn it into a 2/2 and deal 4 damage. They might have Anoint, which is very problematic, but is what it is. Gladly take 3. Glissa, okay. This time they might not block. Okay, so I'm probably gonna Monstrous Rage. And then just wait, I am hitting my land drops. I do have a way to protect my creature. I have an additional creature, so... I guess Glissa gets to remove my trample, but I have another Monstrous Rage, so it's not that big of a deal. Just need to play this smart. We are going to be a bunch... We're going to be behind on cards, but that's not really what these games always... What always matters in these style of games. Yeah, okay, so they're not even going to draw. They want to remove trample. That's fair. Okay, I'll draw. Second Overprotect. I think we can just race this way. Get this guy to 4 toughness. Cut down means turn inside out. So you take a billion. Two removal spells left. Probably need to be one that exiles. Otherwise this Heartfire Hero will just kill him. Or at least almost kill him. I guess, so if they have removal spell... no. If they have removal spell, they can't attack. But they don't know that. It's kind of crazy that I'm winning a game. My opponent just had Glissa and a couple of removal spells, but that is the power of these decks. They have such a low curve. And they're very good at killing people with very few cards. Okay, so we're getting rid of Monstrous Rage again, I suppose. Maybe they're trying to draw an answer. That makes sense. Oh, you want to shrink it. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so now if you play that, you have 1 mana, which means... What does it mean for me? I don't know if I'm playing around an additional cut down. I guess that would probably main phase it, right? Okay, they died. Did they die? They died, right? Yep. GG. Yeah, Heartfire Hero is... I mean, all of these cards are pretty damn good. Alright, nice. Alright, let's get one more match in. We've been lucky enough to be on the play, everyone, so let's continue that. It's a good deck to be on the play with. Let's try it. This I assume this is a keep. Like, this is the type of hand that can go wrong pretty quickly. But we'll see. It's a lot of damage. So what can I do? This is 14 on turn 2 if I want to just jam. And then I get a 2/2. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Alright. If the thing dies, well, it's sort of doomed. Interesting to main deck Torch in your sort of combo deck. Sure. Yep. Oh, I think we died. I assume this is how this matchup goes some of the time. If I knew it was a mirror, I think I would still keep this hand. Like, if you told me my opponent was playing a Gruul Prowess deck, I would probably keep. If you told me they had main deck towards the tower, you know, maybe I wouldn't, or maybe I would play it differently. If you told me they had a Torch Tower in their hand, well, I would be cheating, but would also play differently. Alright, we can make them kill us, why not? I forgot I could cycle this. I'm just kind of just ranting. I should have done that, but probably doesn't matter. They just have a Slickshot Show-Off we can't really answer. They have absolutely nothing and just like flooded because they put a Torch to the tower. Wow, they have not played a Prowess spell. I guess technically I could kill them. I should have done this on my turn, or I don't know, turns ago. Okay, so alright, whatever. Let's see what happens. Your turn. This is a lot of damage. If I win this game, there's no way, right? Give another torch. I cannot save my creature from another torch, which is really funny because I have 5 pump spells in my hand. Also, I guess I'll just die because they'll have a spell to play. But they could have torched this, right? They could have just torched their own guy and then done an additional 4 damage. So what happens if I block? If I block, I make it 10 power, go 10 to the face, get 3 2/2s, and then have 6 for 10 damage. So I could technically kill them by blocking. Which is not worth doing. Okay, so if they have a spell here, he's dead no matter what. Let's say they have a spell that's 3 power. It's going to be 5, 7, and 2, 9. I'm going to block because it's kind of funny. I think we're dead either way. It'll be clean style points if I get to go 10-10 though. Looks like they have a spell, which is very bad news for me. I guess, what could it be that wouldn't kill me? So like a Snakeskin Veil would not kill me. I think it would be 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I go to 1. Any interaction spell, I'd just die. I guess not any. Another torch. If they have an exile removal spell, I'll just die. We're just going for it. Alright, so I look like a giant idiot if they just play a creature. I suppose I could manifest something. Yeah, this play was stupid. Because I just win if this gets to attack, right? Because then it's going to be 10, 3, 13. So it's 13 trample, doubled. I don't know if... Okay, that one matters. So this, I think I made a creature now. So this is going to be... So I just need to deal 8, and this will be +5. It's crazy that I won this game. I even, like, played it incorrectly, but... Oh. So what my opponent just did, I think, is a really good example of something I talked about in the like, deck constructing portion, where, like, my opponent just drew creatures because they're probably playing too many creatures in their deck. They probably have this mouse. They probably have both of these 2-drops. They have Swift Spear. They might have the other 1-drops as well. Like, this, like, you need to have ways to trigger your creatures. Like, yeah, it sucks when you have one creature and your opponent answers it or whatever, but... Like, Slickshot Show-Off is not a good card if you're not triggering prowess. And yes, my opponent got incredibly unlucky. Like, that is true. I'm not saying that I was supposed to win this match, but like they gave it, like, if you misbuild your deck, you give yourself more opportunities to be unlucky, which is the problem with misbuilding your deck. All right. I should have this be the picture. Instead it's this mole guy. Whatever. Who cares? All right. So now begs the question, do I want to board out my ley lines? Do I want to board in a lot of interaction? What interaction do I want? Do I want Pawpatch Formation because it answers Leyline as well as Slickshot Show-Off? In general, I feel like this card kind of sucks. I think I would rather just let them have Leyline and have a bunch of removal on the draw. If I'm going to have a bunch of removal on the draw, Sorcerer Speed removal is really bad, but Obliterating Bolt's probably good enough. Do I want my Leylines? Like, do I want to have Leyline if I'm going to be trading 1 for 1? And that question comes down to how many pump spells am I boarding out? Am I boarding out pump spells at all? Yeah, the mirror is interesting. Because my opponent showed me main deck torches. My guess is that they're not playing Leyline. And that they're just playing the class card. So, all that being said, I think I'm going to try no Leyline. I do think I'm going to hope that like I have more Questing Druids than they do, and we can win off the back of that. And then I guess I'm going to take out Overprotect. Because it is expensive. This is pretty bad against Torch the Tower. So I could consider taking this out. But like, this is prowess. We've got some other stuff. We can still double up on spells. I can just play smart. Wait till they tap out. I'm trying to think of any other cards. I guess Sell-Sword's kind of mid. This might be relevant. Alright, whatever. Try this. I think I'm going to put the Leylines back on the play. Just because even if I do think my opponent has a lot of removal, I can sandbag my creatures. I'm fortunate enough to have a hand that has both Leyline and lands. This hand's not great. 4 lands is already not where you want to be, but if I draw Questing Druid, that's a good way to get back into the game. Okay. So, if I had a Leyline in this hand, it would obviously be awkward. But my hand's bad anyway, so. Oh, okay. Huh. It's actually good. I think this is probably really bad, but it might work out. The way my deck's configured, I have more creatures anyway. So, you know, I think I prefer my side of things where like this is just really slow. If I just drew more creatures, I think I could race it incredibly easily. Why are you not just casting this opponent? I mean, maybe I still can race it. It's very slow. Yeah. Do that now so I don't miss my chance. Probably give me a trigger, but okay. Maybe they don't have that much removal, and we just draw all pump spells. Torch. Okay. Not a pump spell. Yeah, you have that. Yeah, they kind of just drew all the important cards. Guess I'll do this now. Could have turn 2 killed them. Like, it's possible they just don't have a 2-mana or a 1-mana removal spell, and if we had Leyline, we could have just like mulliganed to a turn 2 kill, but I think that's pretty unrealistic to try to do. Okay. And my logic was like on the draw, sometimes in these red mirrors, you just want like extra stuff. Can I main phase this? I don't think I'm playing around much here. Let things go how they go. Alright, we got a relevant card, even though it's not a pump spell. I guess pump spell, yeah, pump spell would have been really good. Oh, this game is winnable. Dying pretty quickly. So this is 10, 9, every spell. This is 8, 7 potentially. Pump spells are a lot. How close am I to killing it? A +3/+3 is 8. 8, 4, 12, and 1. Okay. 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 It's 10 to 4. So we have to kill them. Probably. It's 5 next turn. I guess maybe we don't. It'll be +1. Oh, they have the land. Okay, this is bad. Yeah. Well, opponent did everything we wanted to do, and we drew incredibly poorly. So, good beats. I don't like the way my opponent boarded. I think I'm happy with the way I boarded, even though things didn't work out. Alright, so let's do this. And then we'll take out a removal. And I guess I'll take out the mouse. Do I want Overprotect back in? Still think I probably went Questing Druid. So it's Slickshot Show-Off or Emberheart. How bad is Show-Off against Torch the Tower? It's pretty bad, right? Do I want Forge? I really don't think that I do. Maybe with the way that they boarded, I do actually want Forge. I'm just going to try the Leyline thing. We're playing the Leyline deck. I'm going to bet on it being very good. And then I'm going to do this. We're going to try to kill him. We're going to hope that Torch the Tower is only deal 2 unless you have Artifact or Enchantment, which is difficult for them to have. If they play around Torch, I think we can just win. They have like these sort of grindy cards that can be cumbersome. I don't want to interact with them. I don't want to have too much removal. I just want to kill them. Alright, this hand never wins, right? Okay, so this hand only wins if they don't have a removal spell on turn 1. They almost guaranteed to have 4 torches. They might have like 6 1-mana removal spells. If I keep this hand, it is 7 damage, it's 14 damage and a 2/2. And if I'm... Okay, let's live in realities where they have Torch. If they have Torch, I mulligan. Do my hands get better against the card Torch the Tower? I think maybe the answer is yes, but like also I could just draw creatures. I'm not sure. This deck's hard to play. I'm just going to turn my brain off and hope that things work out. If I draw another creature, which I have plenty of, things should be fine. If I don't, they might just go Torch or Rest Forge and kill me the same way. I think the biggest tiebreaker maybe for mulliganing this hand is that I don't have a Leyline. And like, assuming that I have the Leylines in my deck, it is a very important card, especially when I'm going first. So, looks like we lost. Yeah. Alright, well, maybe we'll draw Threat. Okay. I mean, we sort of knew this was going to happen. I have 1 land, though. Alright, give me a creature and I can just win. I assume they kept double Torch, which flood so hard with 20 lands. Sucks. Okay. Maybe that's good enough. We need more help, but this does save it from a Torch. So if they attack and I turn inside out, then they Torch, then I Rage. It's not even good, right? Trades. I get a 2/2, they're going to take 8. And then I have nothing. Sure. Scamp. Okay, double block is bad. Okay, Scamp's not great. Drawing Leylines, this is one of the few spots where drawing Leyline's not actually that bad, because I have so many lands. But yeah, having as many lands as spells when you are playing 20 is obviously not ideal. Okay, that was maybe the best draw on the deck, and I need to... I think I basically need to do nothing, because they're mana screwed. I think my opponent would just be, like, dominating me if they weren't mana screwed, I think. Like, I think this game would be over. But, like, I guess maybe if they mulled to 6 and they flooded as well, this would be a winnable game. Obviously, they kept 7. I think they kept it off of the fact that they were on the draw and had 2 torches, which I don't even think is unreasonable. I think it might be correct for the opponent to do that. I don't know how many lands they have in their deck, but... So now they're trying to figure out if they can torch and what they want to do. I didn't play my land because maybe they're just playing around nothing, but I should have left my land. But at this point, we have the board. So, all right, unlucky by opponent. That's another way to win these sort of mirror matches, right? It's just by. I mean, that's a way to win any mirror match, right? Just have your opponent get screwed. But yeah, that is Jean-Emmanuel Depraz Worlds deck list. We went 3-0 with it. Got a little fortunate in that last match, but the other matches we kind of just dominated our opponent. So it makes a lot of sense playing the games, thinking about how people are going to beat you, like the main deck Questing Druids. I definitely understand because, you know, yeah, they just kill your opponent really quickly, or if they can stop you, you want exactly a card like that. Also, it doesn't necessarily slow you down because you can just play it as a creature. So, and it triggers your prowess, so all that stuff matters. No Swift Spears, I can get behind for sure. And when you're playing in Worlds, you're playing against a lot of talented people. It's probably nice to just have a deck that can kill people in turn 2 and just sort of simplify things for everyone. Just you know, just get them dead. Hope that they do what my opponent did, where they have mana troubles. But that is it. Like and subscribe if you guys want to see more Worlds decks, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.